You told me when you first came to the hospital you'd never seen any place so beautiful.
You see, a friend took me, it was February. We drove down the boulevard and I saw the blue waters of the Sound and I thought this was it. It was so beautiful. It was still in the 60s that there were still patients beaten up by employees. I remember one case very well. It was a patient who was in and out hospital. She was 42, she was very healthy. When in an afternoon she suddenly became disturbed again, so I placed her on chlorpromazine medication, a low dose. Then I was at home eating lunch. The nurse called me and she said, the patient is in very bad shape. And I was in my car and over to the service in minutes, and here she was dead. And the nurses claimed she just had ceased to breathe. What I learned how it is done, they would use a pillowcase and I would wet it and I would put it over the head of the patient, knotted here on the back, so no trace were left on the neck. And the patient, of course, this wetness, couldn't breathe anymore. And she became unconscious. They put her on the bed, they restrained her, then they took the pillowcase off and the patient was dead. So thinking back, I do not know how many such tragic cases have occurred. It never came to the attention of the public.
I don't want to. I would love to go over there, but I just can't go over it. I can't believe that. I just can't go up there. I don't know why, it's just scary. Just can't do it. I spent 7 or 8 years, 9 years. I really don't know exactly. But I know when I came here, I was very young. I must have weighed about 60 pounds. And they put me up on that ward with these people that were insane. I mean, everybody was crazy. Everybody was screaming and walking around in circles, throwing stuff. There was a lot of stuff going on that should have never happened. And to this day, nobody had to answer to anybody. There were some nice guys and there were some bad guys. There used to be an attendant who I thought was nice, but it turned out to be I was wrong. He had an old Ford, 3-speed on the column, and he would let me drive the car. In return for that, he would sexually molest me, you know. Now, I got so used to it, it was like, oh, well, you know, just another day. Because, you know, everybody here had authority. Okay, kid, come here, you. And it was like, whatever they said, you did. Because if you didn't do it, I mean, take a look around here. Who would know they could do anything they wanted here? They were like gods. The only problem they had with me was I used to be able to get out of straitjackets because of my size. Then they came to the point where they would put you in a straitjacket and they would back you up like this and then hook it in that window and then lift you up a little. So you would be like this, and then your arms would go up and they'd like sort of get your toes just about, and that was your punishment. And if you said something, what? And then he'd take his foot and just, man, you'd go all the way up and you, like, I remember in a butcher store, I don't know why that reminded me of it, they would take these big hunks of meat and that's the way you would swing. And he'd walk out and he'd look at you. He would go all the way back to the office. You were still swinging. I would like somebody to just tell me, no matter what the reason was that I was here, why you didn't help me. They never gave me anything. I mean, I can never remember taking medicine or therapy, which I know therapy now. I didn't know it then. bad memories, you know. I feel like a little candy ass, you know. It's just supposed to be a man. And how could you think about some things that happened 50 years ago and still feel like a kid?